Hello and Merry Christmas. It's December 15th and it's 10 days before our Christmas holiday. Now, I know not everybody celebrates the Christmas holiday, but the one thing I want to sort of talk about for a few minutes is what all of us are dealing with at this time of the year, whether you're celebrating Christmas or not. You will be out in the fray of the season. And the writing piece that I put up for December is an excerpt from my book, The Inward Outlook, and it's from chapter 8, which is the chapter on being. And I'll read a little excerpt from that chapter, but I also want to talk about how this particular excerpt applies to our day-to-day life, and this is a perfect time of year to use as an example. So the excerpt, a little piece from an excerpt from the excerpt is from the inward outlook perspective. We bring what we're looking for. This is a way of being in the world, not of it. So if you are Christian, you'll know there's a quote from Jesus that we need to be in the world and not of it. And so this way of being, this inward outlook way of being, catalyzes happiness and joy in ourselves as well as in other people who are around us. So, part of the purpose of me writing the book was to actually communicate with people how to access this lightness of spirit that's available to us. And we tend to think of a lightness of spirit as a personal thing. We don't tend to think of lightness of spirit as being a cultural community conversation, or that it could have an impact on the way a community interacts with itself. So at this time of year, where most of us are, we still have our day-to-day full schedules, but what we've added into it is Christmas. And so we have gift purchasing to make. Now, a lot of that is done online, which is wonderful. But some of those things really can't be done online. Or we are meeting people at restaurants, or we just, we're out for whatever reason. We are out with all these other people who are shopping and doing all these activities that are part of this time of year. So what we know is there's going to probably be more traffic if we're going to the shopping malls or shopping centers. There's going to be issues with parking. There'll be crowds inside the store. There'll probably be lines as it gets closer to the holiday if you want to purchase something. And then is the thing that you're looking for even still there on the shelf, or have they sold out? So all of these possibilities are there for us. Now, the thing that trips us up is not so much that those things are there to deal with, but that we think, and remember the inward outlook is all about how our thinking creates our experience of life. We think it shouldn't be this way. If I'm going to go out of my way at the end of my day to fight traffic and get to the store that I'm wanting to go to, then there should be a parking space for me. And in the background, which is probably not something you really want to say out loud, there's another should, which is everyone should know what a hurry I am in, how important this is to me, how tired I am, that I want to get this done and get home. We don't want to really tell the truth about that, but that's kind of in the background. Then you get to you finally find a place to park your car, and then you find your way to the store, and then you're starting to fight the crowds. Well, there shouldn't be that many people. And then you get to the department that has the present that you're looking for, and they're sold out. Well, that shouldn't be like that. Or maybe you do find it, and then you're going to the register, and you have to stand in line for 20 minutes, and the person that's 3 people in front of you at the register is having trouble with their credit card, and you're getting tired, and you're dressed for cold weather outside, and you're standing inside the store, and you're starting to perspire, and you're exhausted, and there's a baby behind you who's crying, and it goes on, and it shouldn't be this way. Well, let's talk about a lightness of spirit. So once you leave to go to the store, you could sort of pragmatically get present to the reality that there's probably going to be a lot of traffic. It's probably going to take some time to park. It's possible that the store won't have what you want, so is there a plan B? What else could you get as a gift? Because you know, the true meaning of a gift is that you're thinking of this person and you just want to exchange something beautiful and thoughtful or fun with them so that they know you care about them and you know they care about you. So there should be more than one thing that you could get. And then you have the person who's at the register with the credit card they're having trouble with, and you could stand in their shoes and you could access some compassion, because there was a time when you were standing there in that same position and you know there are all these people behind you and you know everybody's waiting to get to the register and you know the person at the register is just wanting the sale to go through and there's nothing you can do about it. You could have compassion for that. And then there's a baby crying behind you and you could turn around to the mother or the father who's being with the baby and you could bring your lighthearted attitude to them so that they don't feel as frazzled as they're probably feeling, because when you finally get out of the store and you get home, guess what? You don't have that baby to deal with and they do. Like there's this whole world of realizing that you stepped out into the world of other people's worlds, and what you could do is bring what you're looking for. Why would we look to someone else to manage our stress? I mean, that's kind of a ludicrous idea, particularly at this time of year. So the thing about the inward outlook, when you actually start to listen to that light of the Christ, which is the birth of the Christ consciousness, which is the true meaning of Christmas. And you have an awakening to realizing that we're all in the same boat. And that the human condition is challenging, but it's also, you know, you can see at I talk about a humor continuum in the book. So there's one end of the humor continuum that's kind of like making fun of people and being sarcastic, and then there's a whole other end of the humor continuum that moves through like jokes and playfulness and fun, and it moves up till transformational humor, what I call transformational humor, which is actually the attitude of understanding thought to such a degree that you realize that any behavior people are demonstrating, anything people are saying, reveals to you how they see life. It's not personal at all. It has nothing to do with you, even if they're using your name. It's just how they see life. In fact, your own thinking, if it's not peaceful and harmonious, has nothing to do with who you really are. It's just habitual thought patterns. It's just reactivity. It's not personal. So, to have a merry Christmas, to have a light-hearted opening to the awakening of the Christed consciousness within, whatever spiritual denomination you are, remember that none of it's real. The only thing that's real is the grounded, compassionate, loving, hopeful, constant of infinite intelligence that you can count on. There's nothing in the outer that you can count on. There's no security in the outer, but there's a constant, secure realm of joy and peace and lightheartedness that's always available to us if we just turn our attention in that direction. So, with all the busyness of the season and all the things that you have to deal with and all of the people that you have to deal with, the happy people and the not so happy people, bring what you're looking for. Bring the joy, bring the happiness, bring the merriment, bring the understanding, bring the peacefulness, and have beautiful, harmonious, and opulent in all good holidays. Merry Christmas.